Damn! Have you tracked this video? I don't know yet because it's based on search engine. That's YouTube, right? Usually the reason why I do book reviews because it's searchable and it's evergreen. If you don't know what that is, and if you're new to the law of attraction, it's a terminology, it's a way of understanding that the content will live on YouTube and its hosts, okay? And anyway, if you're here for the law of attraction and you're a new beginner, subscribe to my channel. Why should you subscribe to my channel? Why should you do it? Because I interview amazing people on this channel. I'm telling you, they do incredible things, and yeah, you like their stories. Now, before I dive deep into this talk, of course, why do I have all the stack of books? Because most often time, since we live in this era now with technology where you don't go through a lot of hardship like back then, right? Because I have in front of me, of course, Pam Grout. Of course, I'm doing her book right here because it's more about I did a post today with because I was sitting there, fusion. Usually, if you don't know what that is, I mean, you know the word fusion, but in my mind, since I'm consumed by these type of cards now, and this purple thing is fusion, and it's usually combined with two monsters. I know that most people don't care for it, but it's just used as an analogy. Two monsters using with this magic card to combine with this, right? And oftentimes, and I posted because I wanted to read before. Okay, Ima mean now in Japanese. This card may not mean anything to you, but it does. Well, because this card is about fusion of monster, beautiful monster actually, right? The purple card represent fusion. Then I was thinking about the goals that we want to achieve. The past, the present, and the future, like in quantum physics, they all combine. That means the goal we want to achieve is not just to achieve it. It's fused within us. That's why they say it's become part of you. It's like skills. You can't buy it. It got to be developed and learned. So the goal you want will become your experience. What you feel, it will change how you feel about yourself. It will change your belief system. It will change your perception about yourself and the world. So the past, present, and future is fused within you. It's like martial arts. Everything you practice, punching, kicking, the present, it becomes the past. It's now in you. Every skill, everything you want to feel, to experience, will make you combine who you are and who you're becoming. That's an art of itself. That's why I posted, because I was like, you know what, I'm sitting there and I was like, you know what, I believe that oftentimes we get told a lot of things that aren't, it's based on what we see, you know, monkey see, monkey do, right? Most people imitate. That's why you see child imitate others, right? Where when someone smile, the child smile, right? Anyway, I wanted to give credit to a lot of authors that back then they have a hard time publishing. That's why I do book reviews. But so oftentimes we always talk about how good things are, but we don't talk about how the story went. That's why I love biography. Most people do not know how hard it was for Napoleon Hill. Not just to write, it's this Think and Grow Rich, the most famous of them all. Of course, you always hear about Think and Grow Rich by Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale, everyone that has been successful, you read it. But most oftentimes, if you hear what's his name, Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, he was about to give up and throw away that book because it was so hard. And this book, I don't think I should do a book review on it, but most people don't understand how hard it was for Napoleon Hill, the hardship that he had to went through to interview 500 wealthiest people. He had a lot of hardship. It was up and down. He didn't know he's gonna make it. And most the inception of this book was helped by his second wife. He got three wives. The first wife, the second wife. I think the first wife was very beautiful. The second wife and then the third wife he have. So most people don't know that. So if we oftentimes, oftentimes what attract people, allure, is that you can attract what you want if you think often enough, if you have this feeling. But also there's a thing where I just realized, where I have here Ghosts, right? This is the most amazing book I believe that most people should read, is Ghosts. Earl Nightingale said this too. If you set a goal or intention, whatever, how you do it, the goal will move towards you. I mean, when you move towards the goal moves towards you. And if you don't move, you don't attract. Oftentimes, like, if you don't move, you won't attract. I think that's literally the term for me. If you don't move. Moving mean anything. I mean, today day and age is either Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook, or whatever. That's how, most of the time, that's how I get interview with authors or amazing experts, because I use the technology that we have. Now, this is the great book. Most oftentimes, I see a lot on Facebook. People are having a hard time. We don't always talk about the hard time, but the hard time help other people who aren't aware. This girl went through hardship, and then she wrote the book. So let's start with this. Her book, Pam Grout, talk about quantum physics. And I remember when I was beginning to become aware of the law of attraction, and for 3 months I study, I read, and I search. And I remember I downloaded this PDF. It was on quantum physics, and that quantum physics, just three one sentence, it says the past, the present, and the future are simultaneous together, same, right? So that means that the goal that you want to achieve is the future, right? You're creating the future in front of you. You're painting it. It's like an artist. The original artist in there, the art that you see when they draw is on paper. That's the second. They create that. They create the future. They fusion it. But in their mind, they have created the art. That's the first unique thing. They create it with their image, and then they create it with action. It's about playing with the idea that you're creating by moving, right? Now, also, I do want to talk about, I was curious a lot. And also, she also talked about the limiting belief system that we have. Oftentimes, when we're new into this thing, and it gives us dopamine rush, and how it tells the story, how we attract everything to us. But also, the ideas also attract the experience. It's just an idea that will attract what you see, feel, and or come to you. Because an idea is a magnet, right? An idea will turn into form because of the emotion that you put into it, and the action, the movement of that towards of that goal. Because I start to notice, and I start to play around, that every time that I keep thinking about this, I start like feeding my mind, like I want, like because I want to become a collector for these type of cards, because I like the art. I like art. Just a beautiful picture of art, right? Like anime. Anime have beautiful art creations, and that's why most people bash on anime, or a cartoon, whatever, but they don't understand the imagination from an artist. They drew that. They took their time. It become magnificent. So oftentimes when we get into these type of things, we only learn in a certain type. Oftentimes you see a lot, and it become like an idea that's compelled them to believe that. That's why I think that most oftentimes I used to do this. I used to get angry when people bash on the law of attraction, but I don't anymore. It's not about bashing, it's about understanding it's like if you study a subject for so long, you contract it, and that's only your point of view. It's the same thing for martial arts system. When they study one system, one martial arts system, any kung fu system, they only stick to that, and they become close-minded. And I believe that if you are open-minded, you allow the idea to make you to consume the idea. right? And then you become a factor of opening and understanding. That's why I do a lot of interview with different experts, because you see when people are into the law of attraction, they only do interview with the law of attraction. The same thing as a lot. I mean, of course, it's a niche, right? If you don't know about that, that's okay. Yes, I highly recommend this. And then also this one is great, the 10x rule, right? Without the thinking of an idea that's possible, I wouldn't be able to interview an amazing author on my YouTube channel. Because if I thought about realistic, yes, you should be like, realistic for action, but your goal should, or a vision that you have, should not be realistic. I believe that, I think that's the thing. What's the point of achieving our goal if it's not just to find out what you can do? That's what I think always Bob Prout to say. What's the point? The goal is in the fun is in finding out what you can do. Like, if I didn't set a goal, or a goal of interviewing authors, I would not have understand what can I do, or how can I achieve that goal, and how can I inspire people to do that. That's the objective of my goal, is to make it seem that it's like people believe that, like, for example, like people think like luck, or all the bad luck or karma. No, it's not about bad luck or good luck. It's about you taking the action that you want. It's not just about inspiring. It's about doing the thing that make you feel really uncomfortable, because it is really uncomfortable. I mean, shoot, I blast emails. Not blast email, but I send email. At first I don't like following up. I'm getting where I don't feel like following up, because I follow up so many people. It takes so much energy to follow up so many people, because I am inspired by people who do great things. But not only do they inspire to do great things, I believe that also the reason why I do, because oftentimes it's really hard to get the author because of the gatekeepers, right? So I have to do something different to find a way to get directly to go to them, because oftentimes it's not easy, and I wanted to make it possible. And also, I wanted to say we got to build skills, right? It plays on my mind that skills can't be bought. It's only about developing it and learning, right? So that's what I got today. And I also want to talk about limiting belief, and I want to talk about, I was curious, because in America, because I was so sad, there was a shooting in Florida, and I was like, America, have you become so sick that you do this to innocent people? And I was curious. It's like, what make people do this? Of course, I have watched a lot of other why they do it. I was curious how they become that, how. And then I stumbled upon this video. It was on TED Talk, and he was talking about he almost become, a school shooter, and it was the story that he talked is very sad, and it's dark, and you see the whole crowd, like they feel it, and they feel empathy, and yeah, that's like we always talk about the good things. I know that there's good things, but the stuff that don't get talked about most often, we need to be aware of them. It's not about negative, or people say it's negative and we try always move towards negative. No, it's not. Anyway, so it's like, for example, so most people want to attract things into their life, or want to experience feelings of wanting to have that, or whatever. If you're coming to this, here's the thing. You must take the action based upon what you believe that you can do, not what you can't do. Because I tell you the story that most often time we do things that we say things like, the word that kills a lot of people from achieving their goals or dream is can't. I mean, I still have to root that out, but can't, right? There's couple story. Why? Here's the thing. A lot of people who aren't into like personal development or self-help, they have lots of limiting belief system in them, and they can't do it because they don't believe it. And because oftentimes people say they'll believe it if they see it, but that's the wrong mentality that you should not have. I didn't have to it's a good thing that I'm into personal law of attraction, self-help stuff, because it's the thing that the creation, the mindset that you have that you can achieve. One of my friend, I did something, I saw something incredible that I often don't talk about on here. I should. That's why I do the book review. That there's two things. One was I did get one celebrity. Well, actually, a couple of celebrities. I consider them celebrities because they are in their own right in the law of attraction space and stuff like that. But one of celebrity that I did manage to get an answer, and it was she was live, and I talk in here, and she was live, but I tried to do it on Twitter, like try to like tweet at her, right? But she didn't answer because she have lots of followers, and she's famous. And then she was live, and I had to create an account, but I keep saying the same thing. It's like, how do you set your goal, high or low? And she talked about it. I mean, I didn't remember it, and I wish I recorded it, and it'd be awesome. But she's like, longer goal, high or long goal, like long-term goals are curvier. And it was pretty incredible. Who was that? Well, she's a singer, and she was Becky G. She was in Power Ranger, Yellow Power Ranger in the new movie. And yeah, anything is possible. And I remember also I got Justin Bieber to follow me on Twitter, but it wasn't by accident. It was on purpose. Well, it's because the action that I took, right? My friend said, you're so lucky. No, and then she said she want Justin Bieber to follow her, but she didn't do it. But it's based upon the action that you take. If you keep taking action enough, you'll get what you want.